These are all the goldfish babies. They're almost getting to an adult size now, but here's my lotus. I have two lotus plants in here. It's an older plant. This is the one that bloomed last year, and this is a younger plant that I planted as a small tuber, and it was like an itty bitty plant. It didn't do anything last year, and this year it bloomed. And I have another bloom coming over here. This plant was the one that bloomed last year, and I had to, it didn't come up this year, so I had to pull it all out, and I found some of the tubers being smashed on the side of the pot. So I took those tubers and planted in a new kind of, I put in a bucket with all the dirt from my garden. So it came back. Had a couple more tubers from the same plant that I planted in my other small, those rectangular, things, but they didn't come back. Look at the goldfish. Look at the number. So many of those babies. But anyhow, so this one, I thought it might not even come back, but I'm glad it came back from one of the tubers I put. And if you compare the leaves, these leaves are much bigger compared to those leaves. So it's a more mature plant, and I hope it has a bloom soon too. And one thing I learned about water lilies and water lotus is that you have to take them out every year and replant them and give them new dirt, because they suck a lot of nutrients from the soil, and if you don't do it, the soil they have in there will be lacking nutrients and they might not even bloom. This is what I heard. So anyhow, I'm gonna try to look at all those babies. Started feeding them these koi pellets that I bought online. They're much smaller, so it'll be easy for them to grab. Had the other day somebody come over here. I started selling these babies, bought like 10-15 of these babies, and those people wanted my big goldfish. They really liked them. They got a bigger pond, and they wanted to add some fish, and they asked me if I would sell my bigger goldfish and they would pay a good amount of money. I'm like, nah, I cannot sell my bigger ones because they're kind of like pets to me, and I'm kind of attached to them, so I cannot sell them. But anyway, going back to these guys, so every year you're supposed to take them out of the pot, put new soil, and my soil that I use is from my garden, which is basically pigeon manure decomposed into the dirt, so they're full of nutrients. So I'm going to do that. I didn't do that this year with this lotus because it was a baby lotus that I planted last year. Next year, I'm going to take both of these and replant them again. But that is a lotus flower. Some of the petals fell off, but beautiful. And here are my water lilies. I have yellow color one, and these are the most hardy water lilies. And I might need to take this guy out and replant it. Here's a petal that came off from the lotus flower, and I kind of weed eated this area too. So you can see some of the grass cuttings. I hate that. Try to pluck all the grass by my hand so that I don't need to weed eat that area, but kind of went out of hand. Look at all those babies. Yeah, I'll be getting rid of all these babies too. And amazingly, if you look at the babies, some of those babies are like, have a few that are like white and red in color. So it's crazy. Like these, you know, they carry all different kind of colors too. You know, so I mean, they all are orangish red in color, the parents, but and they are fantail, and majority of my babies are like single tail, not fantails, but few of those babies are like white with some red on them. But this lotus plant, I'm gonna take it out because I think it has a few plants in it. Thin it out and just maybe replant one of them in my other, the rectangular thing I have, or maybe sell one of the plants. But it might need new nutrients too. And initially I thought like maybe all the things from uh, the plant, the fish waste and all would be good nutrients, but apparently these guys need a higher amount of nutrients. So anyway, trying to pick some of the, look at all those, I hate this thing, like grass and weed that it's on the, yeah, I sold some of my, the person who came, they wanted some goldfish and they want some of my water hyacinths and my other water plants, the anacras and kaboba and the water lotus. So I sold some of those. But anyhow, I thought I'd do a video. This is a plant, I forgot what's the name of this plant. Hostas, I guess. I planted by the side of it. I try to make this as a floating basket, but I don't think it will work like that way. So I just planted on the side of my pond. Well, that's the update on the pond.